with Pentagon, he just needed refining. He has all the talent in the world. But when you have a certain charisma, you don't need to learn anymore. You need to learn how to reserve and refresh and reboot things so that people will support you for a while.
Yeah.
But he has that charisma. So he was doing things that mean something in Mexico but don't mean anything in the United States. Like in Mexico, the wrestlers don't understand storyline or psychology.
Yeah.
So even though if you and I are wrestling and somebody else, instead of paying attention to the match and trying to participate, adding to the storyline, he'll do something completely off fucking base that has nothing to do with anything and draws the attention to him, and the people miss what the story is about. It's just a mess. So he would do things like he would ask for applause from the people. And it was like, we're trying to make you Lucifer, you stupid ass. Fuck the people. Stop that shit. And then if he missed a move, he would punch the mat. Like an angry little
frustration.
Boy.
Yeah.
Like, you're Lucifer, you stupid fuck. You don't care if you win or lose or you break the. It doesn't matter to you. You have a different thing. You're going to hurt somebody whether they like it or not. You don't do those things for cheap heat. So it was a process with him, and they were going to fire him. They were going to let him go because he wasn't getting it. And his work, like, it was there, but it wasn't there because he didn't come out of his shell yet. And they asked me, how do we get him out of that shell? Because I was from Mexico and all that. So I said, he needs to beat somebody. He needs to beat a star. That's what they did for me. I beat Sting. I beat Hulk Hogan. And look what happened to Vampiro. So he needs to beat somebody. Nobody, and there was about 4 or 5 superstars on the program at that time. And I don't want to say any names because, wrestlers are a bunch of pussies and they all get all fucked up and have to go to therapy for 20 years if you mention their names. Nobody wanted to work with him because they didn't think he was strong enough they were going to get damaged. And I'm like, this is not really real. You know that, right? But anyways, so I said, I'll do it. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, my fantasy in wrestling has always been to play 2 characters, like my hero, Muda. So unpainted Vampiro, the commentator who has mental health issues and is a pillhead and a freak, is one. And then the evil Pope is the master. So, but nobody knew that. Pentagon didn't even know that until the day of the match. Nobody knew. The creative team, like there was like 4 or 5 of us who knew. Nobody knew. And it was probably the most amazing thing ever because even Pentagon he was in tears because he was so emotional about how cool the story was. And it was such a beautiful moment because I was literally part of A Star is Born moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got to see somebody find themselves, and I was a part of that. It was wonderful. It was great.
And and that match that you had with him as well, it's like for a guy that was in your shoes at that time, didn't need to go through that much punishment, and for you to put on this match, which is a death match essentially, and to go through that much punishment in the ring at that stage of your career, to give him the rub, to give him that moment to shine, was outstanding to see, because you don't necessarily see that from veterans like yourself that have been in the business for that long. It's like they don't see the need to do that in their career at that point. But for you to do that, you saw the value in what you needed to do to get him to where he needed to be.
I mean, many people have done that for me. And it's just a demonstration of character. I had my moment. I'm in other areas in the business industry or my career now.
Yep.
This young man deserves the opportunity, and he wasn't getting it. and I just thought it was the right thing to do. It was amazing for me. I just what everybody saw on TV is not what happened. I got in a lot of trouble. I almost lost my job because it's a TV show.
Yeah.
So each match has a 6-minute time limit, period. My match was 47 minutes. So what you saw, times that by 10. It was rocking, my brother. And the place out of their fucking minds. And they had to cut it down. But I had to do it to say goodbye to Vampiro. And if the fans were really gonna buy Pentagon, he couldn't beat Vampiro in 6 minutes. He had to fight for his life for 47 minutes. That's the only way. And you didn't need to see it on TV because the fans, the word of mouth made him an urban legend. And it's exactly what we set out to do. And I did it.
It was